Hi, Nicole. Happy birthday. So your birthday was Tuesday. I'm guessing your probably solar return moon is in Taurus. Your moon is in Virgo, and mine is too. We are the healers, and we're the mothering type. And there's a trine happening. So the way that you see the world and your emotions are going to be really good for the next year. All of the eclipses are starting to be on your nodes. All three of you were born in 83, so your North Node is in Gemini. I'm not sure what house because I'm awaiting the time, but yeah, you guys are definitely being affected in your destiny points for the next couple of years while the nodes are transiting Gemini and Sagittarius. Now, the new moon solar eclipse, which is this weekend, is at 0 degrees of Cancer, which is fairly close to your node. So this is definitely going to affect all of you guys, but I don't know what house it is for you. So I'm going to do the card reading because I don't know how much time I'm going to have tomorrow. And I don't want to miss out the birthday girl. It's the whole point of these readings, right? So once I get the time, then maybe I'll send over another video just to wrap up anything that may have been unclear in the reading. All right, well, I'm going to start off with the Alice in Wonderland deck. It's my newest and my favorite. The reading's kind of weird, though. It's hard to read. I don't think she knew how to write English very well, but I'll do my best. So this is for Nichole, birthday girl. Guides like to say. Well, your North Node and your Sun is conjunct. You're definitely, this life is to learn more about embracing your power, your passions, your self-awareness, understanding and knowing yourself more. Becoming braver. There it is. Number 5. Resilience, experience, growing stronger, fresher perspective. I'm going to pull all the cards first and then I'll read it at the end. All right, Nichole, her birthday. This eclipse. The big picture, 6. One of the girls already got that. Funny. Animal spirit should be working with. Fire ants. And the otter. Definitely working with that Mars energy up there. Your North Node. For Nichole. What else wants to come through? The floor card was transformation, 3. Mind, body, spirit, aligning what you desire, what you are feeling, what you're thinking, like aligning that all together. The journey within to meet my higher self and to find true happiness. Now, with retrogrades, which are going on right now, there's about 4 to 5 planetary retrogrades. Retrogrades are rethinking, going inwards, reevaluating. So there's somewhere in your life that you're reevaluating, maybe what you want. Usually the south node is what is comfortable, but it doesn't ever make us happy until we follow that north node, and that's communicating. And I don't know what house that's like connecting with your community and people that are around you and close to you, which kind of made it kind of hard, all the isolation that we've been doing. But when you get that chance, jump on it. Which I'm glad you guys are going to lunch. I'm going to pull also from this deck. I got this one in New Orleans just because you're the birthday girl. So I'll do an extra deck. Oh, number 3 again. Ooh, that threes. Threes is the magic number. So I'm going to pull some tarots. Okay. All right. Actually, I think I'm going to read the cards first, and then I'll pull the tarots at the end. All right, so Becoming Braver, the first card that we pulled. Alice is brave, and so are you. With everything that has taken place in your life of late, you have often felt overwhelmed, challenged, and uncertain of whether you can cope with with very much more. But you have shown great courage, and perhaps even more wonderfully, you've developed so much resilience. Because of the extreme nature of the events and experiences that you have been working with, you will now be able to deal with all matters of circumstances with great calm and stoicism. And this is not a small thing. Big challenges in quite radical ways can see some people retreat entirely from life. But you, like Alice, can see one of the aspects of working through adversities is realizing just how much you can do. You have been stretched, pushed, and gone right to the very edges of what you know about yourself. And you have come to know yourself far better, far more deeply than if you had not had these great and sometimes rather terrible adventures. Most of all, please know these truths. You are strong. You are brave. You are resilient. You have been dignified, graceful, and remain curious under the greatest sorts of pleasures. This has been, in many ways, your finest hour. And you will be able to set an amazing example when life returns to something just a little closer to what most people call normal. You have been tested. This is the deviation for this card. The development of strength and resilience through the courageous meeting of challenges. The demonstration of great character. The acknowledgement of how much you have learned. The ability to cope with so many little things due to the great ordeal endured with grace, dignity, and humor. Testing times shows true character. Yeah, it's true. When things happen to us, the true character comes out. Like, are we going to remain being nice and humble and empathetic of those and ourselves and taking care of ourselves? So becoming braver is super important, especially your North Node being right there with your Sun and your Mars. The universe is asking you to come out and let your passion and power and motivation and drive be known. And this is 6, which is the bigger picture. It's about seeing things from a higher perspective as well. There is so much more going on than you realize. When we get in our heads and overthink things, we start to miss much of what is going on in the world around us. You might be trying to micromanage a situation and are too focused on small details. Try looking at this from a different angles. If you've been struggling with a problem or a tough situation, this card can signal that you will find the answers if you stand back and view everything from a larger perspective or someone else's viewpoint. All right, so you got the 3, and I just wanted to clarify because these other 2 came out when I wanted clarification of what this card was really saying, because the 3 is the ship. Hold on. Yeah, the ship. It's travel, risk, adventure, and speculation. So the question that you could ask for this card: success. What is the likelihood of success? Okay, has to do with travel. It also has to do with your the end or the completion of something, because that's an A. There's a transformation, an A, transformation, listening to your intuition. And then you have the lady. This is intuitive. Let's see. So in adventure, you have the initiation. Okay, this is the ending. We take it for initiation. This is the house of facing your inner demons and looking within yourself to hunt them down. This is the house of the shadow world, where you take the step beyond fear itself and turn and face it. So it's overcoming some fear. This house is the harnessing of great power if the sitter approaches the situation experience with awareness. So it's initiation, and it's asking that you use your intuition, because this is the lady. See, she's the pretty lady in the garden. This is a feminine house with all the stereotypes and archetypes of this image, which is the feminine energy, and it's intuitive. So this card is saying, okay, there's an adventure awaiting, maybe a travel, maybe you want to travel or traveling opportunity, and there's something that is coming to an end that might allow you to do that, but you have to listen to your intuition. So those cards are telling me. And then we got another tree, the transformation, which I'll read that. Society leads us to believe that possessions and external things will bring us joy, happiness, and contentment, but this is not true. Real lasting happiness can only be found once you go within and connect to your true self. This card reminds you that transformation must begin from within, and only you can decide to begin this journey. By acknowledging and understanding the darker aspects of self, oh my God, those last 3 cards just said all of this, as well as your inner light, you can begin to move towards a greater understanding of who you are and what direction your life needs to move in. Light casts shadow. The 2 are intrinsically bond. Often it is the shadow self that gives you courage and strength to live in your light. Be gentle and kind to yourself on this inner journey. Know that all times you are guided and supported by beings of light and your higher self. You can take this journey alone by following your intuition, or you can seek guidance from books or people you trust. There's no right or wrong path. Your path is unique to you. Follow it with courage and strength, remembering to always show compassion and love for yourself as your true self unfolds. Wow. If there is confirmation needed, that's it. All these cards literally said the same thing. So now the animal spirit that we pulled, I'll look up that. The fire ants. Okay, let me take a sip of water. Okay. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. Fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's a force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. When in balance, thoughtful and disciplined. When out of balance, argues, excess heat, and gossips. And to bring into balance, solo time, walks at night. Oh God, I love night walks. I call them shadow walks. But fire is Mars, and Mars is conjunct your sun in your natal chart and your north node. So it's about learning to balance those two aspects, right? Because maybe in a past life or when you were younger, you didn't have enough confidence or awareness, and maybe you didn't use that Martian type energy, which is passion and purpose, right? And sometimes if we're not on that passion or purpose, it can turn into anger and resentment. So this is a good thing, but balancing it, not being too over the top. But we got the otter card too, so I'm gonna look at the otter card and take what resonates with you and leave whatever doesn't. And sometimes it'll come up later if it's not making sense now. Patience. Oh no, that's the oyster. Okay, otter. Unobstructed joy, playfulness, contentment. Perhaps the most joyful creature within the animal spirit deck is the otter. Represents absolute bliss. Otter energy is the playfulness of a child, available to us at any age. They have a grittiness and reverence for life itself without the presence of doubt, worry, or skepticism. Imagine yourself with a little more otter energy. What would that look like? What would that take to bring you there? The otter card begs these questions and wants to transport us to that precious place as soon as possible. The celebration awaits. So happy birthday. When in balance, full of love, needs nothing. When out of balance is gloomy, sighs, and makes silly excuses. And how to bring that into balance is dance party or celebration. All right, so now that we got that, let's get some clarifying cards with the tarot. Let's see if we could wrap this up. Oh, ooh, the lovers popped out. That's always a nice card. Go through it one more time. Nichole. All right. Temperance. All right, what should we got here? Let me rearrange these. Okay, I felt like changing my background. So for the tarot, first one that came out is Page of Swords. This is about using your mind, your intellect, being truthful and just, having fortitude, analyzing a problem logically, and then acting honestly and writing off your wrongs, making things right again, right? Now, the King of Pentacles came out, and this one is about balancing. So these cards are telling me that you're really balancing this North Node, South Node, ways that you used to be, maybe of fantasizing or being in a delusion, like not seeing things clearly. Maybe someone that like thinks that they're gonna find a partner, right? And they're just gonna travel the world and everything's gonna be perfect and they're gonna be perfect and everything's gonna be great, but it's not the reality of it. And then seeing the logical reality of relationships and other, and balancing these two dichotomies, because really you're balancing them within, right? Because when you're balancing self and other, that's super important in finding a healthy balance, right? We don't want to give too much of ourselves and put someone on a pedestal, right? But we also want to give to ourselves and self-care and stand in our own power. And if we could balance these two, even in your relationships or how you're seeing your relationships, that's going to help a lot with your destiny. So this card right here is about unwavering and stubborn, right? Those are the two balances. So like dog in pursuit of a goal, or the hard-headed, so not willing not to quit and then digs into a position. Cautious and unadventurous. So checks and double checks, right? Because that's cautious. I'm double checking. Or is too conservative, like, oh, like I don't want to go on that adventure because I want things done a certain way. Settles for the safe and small gangs instead of taking that risk for bigger gangs, right? So a realist versus a pessimist. So these are areas that we have to balance within ourselves. Hardworking and grinding. Is willing to look at facts, concentrate on what's wrong. Okay, so these are areas, because Pentacles is our wealth, it's our finances. So maybe there's something in that area of your work that you're not willing to take a risk, because there's no there's what's the saying, with no great risk there's no great reward. So keep that in mind. Then we have the Lovers, which is your card because you're a Gemini. You have the Gemini Mars and your North Node in Gemini. So this is the Lovers card. This is about relationships, sexuality, personal beliefs and values. So this is about balancing self and other, like I was saying. Also your masculine and feminine energy. As far as like intuition, right? And imagination is great, but let that be grounded in reality. So my favorite grounding stone when I'm feeling a little out there is a hematite. I love hematite. It's amazing. It's very grounding. It helps with anxiety too. Then you have Six of Pentacles, which is having, not having, resources, knowledge, and power. So this is the scales. This is very Libra. It's balancing your resources, Pentacles, see? And it's give and take. This is referring to our relationships, our partnerships. This is taking care of, being taken care of, like I was saying, that balance. Another balancing card, Temperance. Do you see Temperance, how she's pouring water into one and then the other, and then she has her foot grounded in earth and then one in water. So this is a Sagittarius card, and that is your South Node. So this is your North Node. This is your South Node. And these two cards came up, not for anything, right? I mean, it's trying to speak to us about balancing your past lives, your childhood, with who you are now and who you want to become, and what is making you happy. Temperance is about balance. It's a healthy balance. And it's finding that middle ground. It's experiencing the harmony that you desire and renewing your energy and gathering together what is needed. And then the bottom of the deck is the Page of Pentacles. And it's funny because your friend got this one in her reading as well. So this is another resources card. This is a money wealth card. And it's having an effect on and being practical and like planning. So if there's something that you have been wanting to get done, something that you want, then you have to make the steps to make that happen. So maybe writing a list, because you know, Virgo moons, we love to make lists and check them off. So don't forget. Maybe if you have a lot of lists, maybe consolidate them or put them in categories. Be like, okay, this is my list for what I need to do to get what I need accomplished in my business or career. And then this is what I need to get accomplished around my house. Maybe this, and making time for relationships and also self-care. So balancing yourself. And yeah, so I'm just going to pull a couple more cards. These are the round cards or tea leaf cards. Whoa. We got a pineapple. Reconciliation. Maybe you're reconciling a relationship. See, Venus is in retrograde, right? And so a lot of us are rethinking and reevaluating our relationships and our partnerships. And Venus retrogrades, you'll find either people that were together, sometimes they'll break up or something. And it's only because people need space. It's not because they don't want to be together. Maybe they just need to go inward and like reevaluate like what they want to do and make sure that they're aligned in their partnerships with that. And Mars will be retrograding in next. So the feminine right now is going inward. Venus is an evening star right now. She's in the underworld. So there is a lot of like reevaluating like what our values are. Is our relationships still of value? The people that we're with, are they aligning with our new self? As well as our money, like because a lot of us aren't working or weren't working because of the corona, and it allowed people to rest and reevaluate what they're doing. Are they happy? Are they making enough? Are they aligned with their destiny and purpose? Or is there a shift that needs to happen? So yeah, so reconciliation is definitely available once Venus starts to move forward. Breakups aren't usually good during that time. I mean, as an astrologist, we just say, okay, if Venus is going retrograde, just go inward, don't break up, and don't jump into any relationships, even partnerships. Because, or if you meet someone during a Venus retrograde, you're not seeing them clearly. It's like you have the rose-colored glasses on, and once it turns direct, then you're gonna be like, what the heck? What the heck? But this is, you got the peacock. Ooh, beware of great pride. You know, peacocks, they just flare their feathers and they flock around. So just being mindful of that Martian type Marsy energy you got going on. You're a powerful person, and you definitely could be very critical on others and yourself. So it's like letting things be, have character. That's what I say. Like let things be the way they are. You don't have to be perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. We're constantly growing and evolving and changing, however. So purse, pay attention to your finances. Okay. And you did get about 3 pentacles in your reading. So there's definitely something happening in that area, or maybe just balancing your money. Scissors, disappointments in some affair. Okay, some scissors, disappointment in some affair. But it might be resolved once Mercury starts moving forward. Financial gain usually coming from something you did in the past. So that's all the hard work that you've put in. You know, once you plan and you tackle the things that you need to tackle, then you will reap the rewards. And sometimes it usually just comes in divine timing. You know, you can work at something for 5 years, but persistence really pays off. So I'm going to pull an Astro House. Career. All right. So when is this payoff in career going to happen? Woo, there it goes. Keep flying. They keep flying. January. So January is Capricorn and Aquarius. Capricorn and Aquarius season. So yeah, I mean, depends on the time. I could tell you what house, but there's definitely something aligning for you in your career, in your partnerships. So it might be 2. Yeah. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's someone that you work with. But balancing that, maybe it's a business partner, maybe it's a relationship. But I hope you liked your reading. There's just a lot going on here, right? Becoming braver, stepping into your North Node, stepping into your power, seeing the big picture, right? You got the transformation. And it is an adventure. Be brave. Let the things go that no longer serves you. Use your intuition and your feminine energy, balancing that Martian masculine fire ant energy with something more fun loving. And yeah, it looks like a lot of things will end up working out in the best. And if there's anything else that I can contribute with your time, then I will let you know once I get that time tomorrow. All right. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. And if you'd like to know more about what I do, my website is www.lucidlivingmovement.com. I also have a YouTube that you can check out where I do updates on moon cycles and a little bit of everything. I'm going to start doing more. So thanks for your business, and I hope you have a wonderful birthday, Nichole. All right. Bye.